In this video, I'm going to be ranking female K-drama characters based on how I feel about them. Remember, how I feel. And I'm going to be ranking them based on the following tiers. As a great philosopher once said, to err is human and to forgive is demonic or something like that. If someone hurts you, hurts them back, you are only being human. I actually really appreciated how the story didn't keep the female lead as this naive, heart on her sleeve, kind beyond reason character. I like how the circumstances pushed her into becoming more savvy and discerning and fighting back. What I didn't like was making the female lead forgive the male lead. I desperately needed this guy to suffer. I encourage everyone to watch the first 4 or 5 episodes, and then if you don't have a list of very hurtful things you want to be done to this male lead, I rest my case. If they had wanted to redeem the male lead, they shouldn't have gone the route they did. Childhood trauma? Really? Are you kidding me? What about the way he manipulated the female lead into marrying him? What about his treatment of her after she married him? His cheating. The fact that he almost killed her. Childhood
Oh, Thunder, where are you? This is the time you are supposed to strike.
Jenna is a character I see so much of myself in. Her inability to stand up or speak up for herself, the way she puts up with so much just to avoid conflict, and with subsequent rewatch, I'm beginning to realize the horrible consequences letting things slide can have. Like her agreeing to go on a blind date that her mother set up while being in a serious relationship. Or the completely loveless and soulless relationship her mother probably pushed her into after she broke up with Juni. Being an easygoing person who doesn't quickly take offense is a good thing. Letting everyone steamroll over you just so you can keep the peace is quite horrible. It's just a form of looking down on yourself, like what you don't doesn't matter, while you contort yourself into various shapes to please everyone else. No matter how unpleasant it can be or who you might offend, you must stand up for yourself when necessary. If you exclude her shenanigans with Baek Sung-jo, Ohani is such a lovely character. She's a good daughter, a considerate friend, and if she hadn't been so dead set on hanging on to Baek Sung-jo, she probably would have explored other career options that she would have excelled at. But she still is head over heels for Baek Sung-jo, so there must be something wrong with her. Most K-dramas at least go out of their way to excuse the male lead's terrible behavior by waving the magical wand of childhood trauma and then miraculously have him change after falling in love with the female lead. Playful doesn't even do that. Baek Sung-jo remains basically the same the entire series. Take what happened during their honeymoon as an example. Hani is pushed to the side as he allows this strange woman latch onto him for most of the time there. Why do you love this man? Why?
Why?
I find it a necessary rule to have at least 2 continents worth of space between oneself and a character like Big Bloody Sunjo. But Ohani found a way to stay and keep loving him, so I must assume that she has some sort of unbreakable covenant with suffering. Yes, her students are her job, and she pushes them to pass, but you can also see that she genuinely cares about them. To her colleagues, even the ones that she's in competition with, she's nothing but the epitome of respect and kindness, but she makes it very clear that she's not someone to be messed with. In a, I won't start the fight, but I sure as hell will finish it, and you. She has her flaws, and I love her the more for having them. First of all, the disparity in the way she treats her son and her daughter, disgusting. She wasn't ever interested in her daughter's happiness. She was more interested in leveling up her social status by getting her daughter married to someone higher up in the hierarchy. If a potato had enough money and status, she would have happily handed over her daughter without blinking. And the haughtiness that just drips from her every word has you thinking, what a smug bitch. Worst of all is her treatment of Chuni and Kyungsun. I thought that at least in front of them, she would have kept up the facade of being nice, especially when you consider that she and her husband had practically been parents to these kids since their mother died and their father remarried. So just imagine how much more hurtful her words and actions would have been to them. Hong Young has a character trait that I greatly admire. It's her ability to not care about other people taking offense. In fact, it seems that people taking offense is an added bonus to her saying whatever she wants. Now, this isn't inherently a good thing, but I think that everyone should possess that ability, at least to some extent. The ability to just express and vocalize how you feel without passing it through the filter of people's expectations and how society feels about it. The drama does call her out on many of the things she does, and by the end of the drama, she definitely has grown as a character. Yes, she taught children, but she behaved like one too. And so did the male lead. I got sick of their story fast. It is possible to portray compassion without making it infantile. Thank you. She's pretty terrible because she schemes her way into rich men's lives, gets them to marry her, and then scams them out of their money.
I love stealing. I love taking things.
Let's all remember that if she hadn't fallen for the male lead, she would have siphoned every last bit of money she could from him and leave his family devastated. I feel the drama is aware of all that and very intentionally doesn't highlight that part of her character setup, and instead they focus on who she is outside of all that and how she helps the male lead's family, his daughter especially, to heal. I love Samsoon for her ability to be honest about how she feels. If there's one thing that's consistent in this drama, it's how she unabashedly speaks about how she feels. An example is when the male lead, her boyfriend, wants to accompany his ex to America for her cancer treatments, and she was immediately like, hell nah. I like how she was just open about her not wanting him to do that, unlike the female leads I was used to at that point, who would be all accepting, all forgiving, and very gracious. Or how she openly insulted her ex, who wanted to get back with her and cheat on his wife. She even called his wife to inform her. What a badass. To be honest, I didn't think the male lead deserved her. She has such a warm and caring personality, and because of her life experiences, she's also very resilient. I like how time and again she's not afraid to confront the male lead when she's not in agreement with him. And when she discovers that she's in the wrong, I like how she's also not afraid to confront him with an apology.